This video is about some of our favorite resources and curriculum that we have used for kindergarten in our homeschool. The first resource is the early years. It is the Charlotte Mason Handbook by Simply Charlotte Mason. And they have taken everything Charlotte has said in her books about educating a child in the early years. So Charlotte's comments will give you permission to step off the whirling merry-go-round of activities, academics, and stress and step into a peaceful world of simplicity, good old-fashioned fun, and sanity again. So as most of you know, Charlotte Mason's ideas are for a gentle art of learning, and especially in the beginning. So this is a very helpful resource to have to give you ideas how to teach your little ones. We have used the Homegrown Preschooler for the early years, and I highly recommend it to anyone with little ones because they will love this. It is full of games and ideas to do with your kids, and not only is it fun, they're actually learning basic math skills, their letters, things like that, while they play. So this is their main book. This is like your teacher book or reference book that as the parent you would read. And then they have a year of playing skillfully, and they also have a summer of playing skillfully, and it goes by months. We purchased the whole packet that included 101 easy, wacky, crazy activities for young children. And this little book is also full of ideas and games and things to do with your children. So it is set up by month. And every month you have your checklist of all the different things that you can do. The theme for September is the world I live in. The character trait is wonder. And you have your language, you have art and music, home life, social, emotional, math, science and sensory, field trips, outdoor and gross motor skills, and every month is different. And then all the activities are broken up by month, like I said. So this is September. You have your mom's toolbox, and here they recommend books or anything else that they think would be good for you to read as you're teaching your children or to read to your children. And then they have all the activities and all the ideas for you guys to do together. And here's more books they recommend. And this has been fun, even for my older son. Even though he's older now, he still enjoys a lot of these crafts that they have here. So this is something I would really recommend just to bring in a lot of fun and joy into your homeschool, especially in the very early years. And then the summer one is set up in the same way. This is from All About Reading. This is part of the pre-reading kit, and I have gone through this twice with both of my sons. We did it when my oldest was in kindergarten, and we loved it so much. It was so much fun that we just had to do it again the second time around. And I know that it seems like some parents that use All About Reading, sometimes they skip over the pre-reading one and go straight to the blue book. But this was just so much fun. I mean, if anything, like even if your child already knows their letters, this was just so much fun to do. And it is a very good way to learn the letters and the letter sounds, because they're learning the sounds as well. So we have done this twice. Some of my favorite memories from doing like kindergarten were from this book. So we definitely did it again the second time around. When we started homeschooling, I told myself that I wasn't going to put a lot of pressure on myself and on my kids to learn to read by a certain time. I've heard of people that they really want to make sure that the kids are reading in kindergarten, and I just remember when I was in school and I went to kindergarten, all I remember is playing games and singing songs and just doing different things, having fun. I was not taught to read until the first grade, and I went to public school, and I still remember sitting at the table with all my classmates and our teacher, and she taught us all to read, but that wasn't until first grade. So that was kind of my goal as well. So by using this, I wasn't even trying to teach my kindergartner how to read, but my oldest started reading by the end of kindergarten pretty much on his own. Like, I wasn't really focused on that being the goal, but we were using the pre-reading, and then we did move on to the second book in the series. And he was reading by the end of kindergarten, so it just happened naturally, and I think that's how it should be. But this one was a lot of fun. We did not continue using All About Reading after the first two books. We did purchase it and try it, but it just ended up not being a good fit for us after that. So we ended up using a different reading curriculum after the second book. We've tried a few different reading curriculum, and my two favorite have definitely been these two right here. The reading lesson, teach your child to read in 20 easy lessons, and teach a child to read with children's books. These two were my favorite. The most fun, if you asked my kids, they would say this one here. And I have two separate videos on each of these books if you're interested. Both of these, in my opinion, are great to teach your kids to read. This one involves some writing as well, and just reading, like it says, with different children's books that you may have in your home, or we also checked out a lot of books from the library with this one. And this one here, you don't need any other books. They just read the stories that are in this book, and at the beginning of each lesson, they introduce the new sounds, and then they start off by reading each sound, and then just words, and then it moves on into sentences, and then a whole little story. But both of these we have really enjoyed. I wanted to share this ABC book with you because it is one of our favorite ones. It is by Apologia, and the illustrations are so beautiful. A Light for My Path, an ABC book based on Psalm 119. It's just very simple, but very beautiful, and yes, it's one of our favorites. We actually have several ABC books, but this is definitely one of our favorites. And I love that it's based on the Psalm. Just beautiful illustrations. For art, we have really enjoyed using Artistic Pursuits. We still use it in our homeschool, but this is their preschool edition, but it can definitely still be used for the kindergarten years. And it's very simple and easy to use, and the kids create their own artwork. There's instructions here. As you could see, there's picture talk. So they are introduced into real artwork by famous artists. And then you talk about it, you study it, just like in the Charlotte Mason method. And then, but it also gives directions for them to create their own. So they look at the one by the famous artist, and then they make their own version of it. So we really liked it. We enjoyed it. We have continued to use this company throughout the years, and we have enjoyed every single book that we have used so far. We have also used several different math curriculum over the years, and for the early years, these have been my favorite. They're very simple, very basic, and gentle, and that is exactly what I was looking for the kindergarten, preschool years. I liked that these books give them a lot of practice writing the numbers. We have also tried different curriculum that they didn't really get much practice in writing their numbers correctly. And this book actually gave them lots of practice with that. So that was one of the things I liked. But also that it's very basic and simple. And these are by Memoria Press. And this one here, Counting with Numbers, is from Rod and Staff. And this one, they also practice cutting and gluing and different skills like that. So this one was a lot of fun too. We also have books like these. This one's 100 Curious Things to Count, and it just makes it more interesting. Like every page focuses on one type of item for them to count. So this one is buttons. So they're counting buttons from 0 to 9. Then you count the Beatles. Here you're counting eggs, gems, seashells. So it makes it a little bit more fun and interesting. Then at the bottom, there's a few facts about the items that you're counting. So sometimes this is a little bit more fun than just doing like a number chart, but those are very helpful as well. We really enjoyed using these flashcards. These are the number ones. We purchased these from Target. We've had several different kinds, but this one was definitely our favorite. They're very colorful. I like the size of them. And all the pictures are really cute. So this one is numbers. And then for our letters, I purchased this set from Rainbow Resources, and we had it hanging up. We had like a string and little clips for these. So when my kids were learning their letters, this was very helpful. And I just loved the illustrations in this set. They did not come in a box, they just came loose like this, but you can purchase a little box to store them in yourself. But these were some of our favorite ones. Another set that we really enjoyed were these here. We purchased these from Target, but I've seen them sold at other stores as well. So when my kids were learning their letters, we would take these cards and then they would use some play foam, and they would take this and then they have to build the letter that's on the card, and it shows you the steps. So they would use this, and it was fun for them. It was a lot of fun, and it was a good way to practice learning your letters. So there's a set with all the capitals. There's a lowercase set as well. And then also there are a numbers set too. The numbers, some of these have shapes as well in the back. So this was a favorite thing to do as well because they really enjoy playing with the play foam. One of my kids' favorites have been the Beatty history books. There is 2 of them that I know of. The first one is called Beatty's History of Me, and then there's Beatty's History of US or Us. So we have done both, and both of my kids have really enjoyed these. These have been like a highlight for them in their school days, so that's why I have included these in this video. So the first one, Beatty's History of Me, is about your history. It talks about your family history, and you actually do like a family tree, so things like that. And then you also do a little lap book with it, and I believe that one they recommend for kindergarten. And then this one, Beatty's History of Us or the US, is about US history. And this one also has a little lap book that you make, and it's very simple. There are like timelines that you do, and like every lesson is either 1 or 2 pages, so they're very short. And then the next page is something else. So for some reason my kids have really enjoyed these, and I did too. My favorite subject's history, so anything that has to do with history, I really enjoy. And this is Beatty, and Beatty's a timeline. So Beatty takes you through the history, teaching you. So this was a lot of fun. Some of our favorite read-alouds are the books by Thornton Burgess. We have so many of these. I don't even know how many we have. There's so many to collect. But both of my kids love nature. They love animals. So we were first introduced to these books through the Heart of Dakota program, and they just really loved these, and so did I. I loved the stories as well, and we would just sit together and read out loud. And last but not least is the Heart of Dakota guides. We have done every guide starting with Little Hands to Heaven all the way to Creation to Christ. And we love this curriculum. That's why we continue to use it. And this one here has been definitely one of my favorites. It was so much fun doing this, all the little activities. I just have great memories with my kids doing this one. So this does say preschool, but it's for ages between 2 to 5. So you can use this for kindergarten. Just like this one here, it's ages 5 to 7. So you can use this one for kindergarten or first grade. And, this one, they're learning their letters and numbers. So all the different activities, they were really fun to do. We did do it exactly how it was written, and it was a lot of fun.